Do you ever feel like your daily routine is just routine? Like the small decisions you make don't really matter in the grand scheme of things? Well, for Warren Buffett, every single seemingly insignificant choice has been a building block towards an empire worth billions. Discover how focusing on the seemingly small details of daily life can lead to extraordinary long-term success. Everyone loves a good story. The genius who made one perfect move and became a millionaire overnight. We've been trained to believe success happens in one grand decision, a big bet, a viral moment, a lucky break. But the media doesn't show you the years before that, the boring, repetitive, disciplined grind, the late nights no one filmed, the small, consistent choices that looked insignificant until they compounded. That is the same story behind Warren Buffett greatness. True wealth, whether in money, mindset, or mastery, isn't built by dramatic moves. It's built by quiet consistency, by the person who shows up daily even when no one's watching. So stop waiting for your big break. Here are of the habits that made Warren Buffett great, and you can implement them into your life also.
Habit 1. Master patience. Think in decades, not days. In 1964, American Express was in crisis. A fraud scandal tanked the stock and everyone panicked. Buffett? He bought millions worth of shares. Most people thought he was insane, but decades later, that same investment has grown to billions of dollars. This wasn't luck, it was patience. Buffett's favorite holding period? Forever. Psychologists call this delayed gratification. You might have heard of the marshmallow experiment. Kids who waited for 2 marshmallows instead of eating 1 immediately grew up to be more successful. Buffett applied that same discipline to money. Here's the kicker. The average investor holds a stock for less than 6 months. Buffett holds for decades. That's why his wealth compounds while others get crushed by emotions.
Habit 2. Surround yourself with the right people. In 1959, Buffett met Charlie Munger, and everything changed. Together, they built Berkshire Hathaway into a $900 billion empire. Why? Because psychology is contagious. Research shows your income and habits mirror the people closest to you. If your circle wastes money, you will too. If your circle thinks in decades, suddenly so will you. Munger wasn't just a business partner. He was Buffett's second brain. He once told Buffett, "It's better to avoid stupidity than to chase brilliance." That advice alone saved them from bad investments that others rushed into. The lesson? If you want financial success, audit your circle. Surround yourself with people who normalize wealth building, not debt and excuses. Habit 3. Never stop learning. Warren Buffett reads about 500 pages a day. Think about that. While most people binge Netflix, he's feeding his brain. He spends up to 80% of his time reading and thinking. His words, read 500 pages a day. That's how knowledge builds up, like compound interest. And studies back this up. A Harvard Business Review study found that leaders who continuously learn and reflect perform 30% better than their peers. Buffett isn't chasing entertainment, he's investing in himself, and that investment has paid billions. So here's the challenge. Replace just 30 minutes of entertainment with learning every day. In a decade, that one habit will completely separate you from the crowd. Habit 4. Live below your means. Despite being worth $100 billion, Buffett still lives in the same Omaha home he bought in 1958 for $31,500. Why? Because wealth isn't about showing off, it's about freedom. Most people fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation, spending more as they earn more. Buffett avoided that trap. Instead of buying yachts and mansions, he kept reinvesting. And here's the data. In The Millionaire Next Door, researchers found most millionaires live in ordinary neighborhoods, drive used cars, and quietly build wealth. The truth? Looking rich is easy. Staying rich takes discipline. Buffett proves that freedom beats flexing every single time. Habit 5. Know your limits. Stay in your circle of competence. Buffett famously avoids industries he doesn't understand. That's his circle of competence. During the dot-com bubble in the late 90s, everyone mocked Buffett for avoiding tech stocks. But when the bubble burst, he came out untouched, while others lost fortunes. This is self-awareness in action. Most people pretend to know more than they do and end up broke. Buffett admits his limits, and that humility protects his wealth. Lesson? You don't have to know everything. You just need to be brutally honest about what you do know and stay disciplined in that lane.
Habit 6. Protect your time. Learn to say no.
Want to know Buffett's real superpower? It's not investing, it's saying no. He once said, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." His calendar? Nearly empty. He guards his time like it's gold, because it is. Science backs this up. A Stanford study found that multitasking lowers IQ and damages memory. Constant busyness isn't productivity, it's self-sabotage. Buffett avoids this by protecting his energy. He spends time reading, thinking, and making 1 or 2 high-quality decisions, instead of 100 rushed ones. Habit 7. Think independently and have courage. In 2008, during the financial crisis, banks were collapsing. Everyone was terrified. Buffett, he invested billions into Goldman Sachs and General Electric. That move required 2 things: independent thinking and courage. While the crowd was paralyzed by fear, Buffett saw opportunity. This is his unfair advantage. Most people are slaves to fear and greed. Buffett trained himself to act rationally when everyone else lost control. And that mindset, courage plus independence, is why he consistently wins while others lose. The truth? If you want Buffett-level results, you have to stop letting the crowd think for you. Train yourself to stay calm while others panic. So there they are, the 7 habits that quietly build wealth. Patience, the right people, lifelong learning, living below your means, knowing your limits, protecting your time, independent courage. Buffett practiced them for decades, and they built him one of the greatest fortunes in history. But here's the truth. These aren't billionaire secrets. They're human habits. Anyone can start today. So my question is, which of these will you build into your life first? If you want more videos breaking down the psychology of financial success, hit that subscribe button. And if this gave you value, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because the habits that built Buffett's fortune might just build theirs too.